guys, welcome back to another Co-Camp World Challenge. It's Erika and today we're going to be making an awesome game called Goldfish Exploration. Now in this game we're going to have really tall levels where our goldfish is going to be jumping around and going through checkpoints and collecting coins. So it'll be a little bit of a harder one, but I reckon you can do it. Now remember, if you do get stuck, you can always just press pause and then replay anything that you need to recheck. Awesome. So make your way on to Co-Camp World and let's get started. Press login now and log in with the details that you got at camp. If you do forget them, not a problem. Just press forgot password and we'll send them on to you right away. Sign in. Now, press new game and I'm just going to call this one Goldfish Exploration. But you can call it anything that you want. And you can get suggestions from your game name by pressing this button here. Perfect. Press save. Now the first thing we're going to do is go on to scenes, add a new scene, call it level 1. Since this one's going to be a really tall level, we're just going to put the cells across 20 and the cells down 100. Perfect. So now we've got our super long level, but it's a little bit boring, so we're just going to change the background color. Click color. I'm going to make this one a nice blue-ish color, just because it's going to be like a little fishbowl. Perfect. Press save. Now we're going to go on with our characters. Click on actors, press the plus button, start with our hero. Click hidden animation. You can press characters if you want, but I already know what I want to make mine, so I'm just going to type it in the search bar. Here we go. And then add another one. It's going to be our coin. Click hidden animation. And there are heaps of coins that you can choose, including gems and money bags, but I'm just going to choose this one over here. Perfect. Then we're going to add one more actor, and this is going to be our checkpoint. Click here in animation, and mine is called sign. I like this one. Perfect. Don't forget to choose your animation frames, and then we can get started decorating our scene. So make your way back to level 1, go to tiles, and add. I'm going to choose the ice tile set. You can choose whatever you like. Now go ahead and design your level. I've designed my level here. You're going to be starting at the bottom, and as you can see, I've got some obstacles which you want to try not to hit the tiles, and you can collect the coins. There's checkpoints, and you just move up and it gets a little bit harder as you go. Perfect. You can drag in the coins and your checkpoints, but don't add in your goldfish because our game is going to automatically make that. So now let's get started with the coding. Click code, and we're doing this on our level 1, so this is our first level, and this is going to be called spawn hero. The type is when this scene is created. Press add. Perfect. Now we're going to add a bunch of variables. Awesome. So the first thing we're going to do is create some variables. Click variables and add a variable. This one's going to be called first spawned. So this is just the first time we spawn our character and we haven't used a checkpoint. We're just going to start here. And the default is just going to be true. Awesome. And then we're going to add another variable. This one is checkpoint X. The default is 0. And we're going to do the same thing and create checkpoint Y. Great. We're also going to add score, which we're not going to use now, but we'll use that later. And we'll also use can move. And start that off as true as well. Perfect. Now go to logic, drag in an if, and go back to variables and drag in get first spawn. So if it's our first spawn, we're going to drag in set checkpoint Y and set checkpoint X. And drag that up there. And go to math where we've got minus and divide. So set checkpoint Y is going to be minus 40 and set checkpoint X is going to be divided by 2. That just means that we'll start in the middle and a little bit above. Perfect. Then we're going to go to scene and drag in get scene height for Y and get scene width for X, because remember our X and Y coordinates. Perfect. And then the last thing we're going to do is go to actor, scroll down and create an actor. Change it to create new goldfish at X, go back to variables and drag in get checkpoint X and get checkpoint Y. Now go ahead and launch game. And as you can see, we've just got our game, but you can't see our player, and that's because we haven't coded the cameras follow us. So we're just showing a part of our level, and remember we made it really long and we just can't see our player, so it's somewhere down there. So that's the next thing we're going to do. Let's go to actors, goldfish, and press our code. Now there is quite a bit of code for the goldfish, but not to worry, you can get it. So click here to add a function. This is called setup. The type is when this actor is created. Then what we're going to start off with is make camera follow. We're also going to keep it in world because we don't want it to fall out of the world or go out sideways. Set can rotate when hit to no, and set affected by gravity to yes, because it needs to be able to fall back down. Perfect. Then the next thing we're going to do is go to scene and drag in set scene gravity. We're just going to make it X 0 and Y 400. So it's not too strong, but it'll be pulling us downwards. And then we're going to go to variables and drag our set can move and make that true. So that's in logic and drag in true. Perfect. So now if we launch our game, you'll see that our goldfish is here. But if you saw that, everything else just fell. And that's because we'll have to code all of that later to stand still. Otherwise, let's continue. So we can't move yet because we haven't coded that. And there's other things that we haven't coded that we're going to do now. The next function that we're going to make is called hit tile. And the type is when this actor hits a tile. Perfect. Press add. And for this, pretty much when we hit a tile, that's going to restart our level at wherever the last checkpoint was. And if you didn't reach a checkpoint, then we're just going to start it from the first spawn. So go to scene, restart current scene, and then we're just going to set our score to 0. So that's in variables, set score to 0. Perfect. Then we're going to add another function. This one is next level. Now for this function, it's going to be that when you reach the top of the level, you're just going to be able to go through and then go to the next one. So this is going to be when this actor is updated, because we want the computer to always be checking if it's time for the next level. Perfect. This one's a little bit trickier, but I know you can do it. Go to logic and drag in an if, and inside of that we're going to go scroll down to where it says is less than. Type in is less than 30, so in that second box, and we're going to go to actor, get Y position, and drag that in the first one. So if Y of this is less than 30, then go to variables and set checkpoint X, then drag in set checkpoint Y, and go back to scene and drag in go to next scene. So then we're going to go back to math and do sort of the same thing as we did before. So set checkpoint X is going to be divided by 2, and set checkpoint y is going to be minusing 40. Perfect. Go back to scene and grab scene width for x and scene height for the y. Great. Now we're going to add another one. This is collect coin. The type is when this actor hits another actor. And don't forget to change this to coin up here. Then all we're going to do is set our score. So in variables, set score to, go to math and drag in a plus sign. Go back to variables, scroll down to get score and type in the amount that you want your coin to be worth. So for me, I'm just going to make that 1. Then the last thing we're going to do for this function is go to actor and drag in remove an actor. So it says remove this, then we're going to variables, drag in collided with. So then that's going to remove the coin, otherwise you'll just keep hitting it and that's sort of cheating. Great. The next thing we're going to do is hit checkpoint 1. This pretty much means that once you hit your checkpoint, if you die or hit a tar, you're just going to start from where your last checkpoint was. And this is just going to be when this actor hits another actor. And it's going to be a checkpoint. Perfect. We want to go scroll down in variables to set first spawn to, and then go to logic and drag in false. Because it's not our first spawn anymore, we want to start from where that checkpoint was. Then we want to go back to variables and drag in set checkpoint set checkpoint x and set checkpoint y. And then we're going to go to actor, get x position and get y position for the second one. Scroll down to the bottom and remove an actor. This is also going to be remove collided with, which is in variables. So that removes our checkpoint once we've hit it as well. Now we're going to make it so that we can actually move. To do that, we're going to add another function, and this is going to be called move, and when this actor is updated, press add. Perfect. This one is a little bit big, but all good. If you get lost, just pause the video and rewind it. So we're going to go to logic and drag in an if and an else if. Then we're going to drag in an if into each of those second boxes there. So it looks like this. Perfect. Then we'll go to input and drag in is key pressed into the if and the else if. And the if is going to be right and the else if is going to be left. Perfect. Then we're going to go to variables and drag in get can move into the second if for both of them. And then we want to set x speed. So in actor, set x speed, set y speed for both of those there. And then we want to scroll down to set spin speed and drag that underneath in both of them. Perfect. So this set x speed is going to be 150, and for the left this is going to be minus 150, because remember on our x coordinates minus is going to be going left and positive goes right. Perfect. Then y speed is going to be 270 for both of them, and spin speed is going to be 700 for right and minus 700 for left. Perfect. Then we're going to go to variables and scroll down to set can move, put that outside of that inside box, so it's underneath that, and we're going to go to logic and set that to false. Because the way this is going to work is that if you've moved in the past 0.75 seconds, you have to wait until that time is over until you can move again. So it's just like a timer. Perfect. The last thing we're going to do in this function is go to UI and show a label called score at x of 20, y 20 with text. We're going to drag in combine text. Perfect. And call this score, leave a space in between, and then go to variables and drag in get score. Perfect. Now go ahead and launch that. And we will see. So as you can see, we've got our score here. I can move left and right. Yep. Perfect. And there we have it. Just make sure that set y speed there is minus 270. Perfect. The next thing we're going to do is add our timer. So add another function, just called timer. The type is going to be every x seconds, and we're going to make this 0.75. So every 0.75 seconds, we're going to set can move to logic true. Perfect. Now all we have to do is finish setting up our coins and checkpoints so that they don't move. So go to coins, code, click here to add function, click setup. The type is when this actor is created. Drag in, set affected by gravity and set sensor, and leave it as no and yes. And then we're going to do the same thing for our checkpoint. Created, set affected by gravity, set sensor. Perfect. And then let's test our game. Perfect. So there you have our awesome game. And as you can see, we've got our coins there. Great. Now, the last thing we need to do is go to Scenes, Level 2, click Code, click here to add a function, and this is going to be something that you're going to do for every level that you make other than level 1. So if you have a level 3, level 4, etc., it's all good. And then this function is just going to be spawn hero. The type is just going to be when the scene is created, add, and then all we have to do is scroll down to the bottom, create an actor, create new Goldfish at X, and this is going to be get X checkpoint X and then get checkpoint Y. Perfect, and that's all there is to it. Go ahead and launch your game. Let's have a look at our beautiful game, and you can collect, oh, can't go out the level, you can collect your coins, and if you hit a tile, you'll have to restart the level. Yep, and we start at where the checkpoint was. Perfect. So this is a little bit of a hard game, but congratulations on doing it. Now, hope you had fun. Can't wait to see you at our next CodeCamp World Challenge. Bye.